Welcome back to the first episode of Carpooling Marketing, where we unpack global business strategies and marketing decisions that make or break international brands. Hi, my name is Max, and today we've got a fascinating case on deck. The story of Chery, a Chinese automaker that once struggled in Malaysia, pulled out, and now has made a roaring comeback. Joining me is Arash Daniel Hamdan, an international business student and strategy enthusiast who's been closely studying this case. Hey Arash, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Alright, so let's dive right in. For listeners who might not be familiar, who exactly is Chery and why did you pick them up for this case study?
Great question. Chery is one of China's leading state-owned automobile manufacturers, known especially for its focus on emerging markets. They first entered Malaysia in the mid-2000s with budget-friendly cars like the Chery QQ and E-Star MPV. But by 2017, they'd actually exited the market. What makes this case really compelling is that Chery returned in 2023, not quietly, but with big investments and a modern product line under sub-brands like Omoda, JQ. That is a perfect setup for analyzing international marketing challenges and how a company can reinvent its global strategy.
So let's rewind for a bit. What exactly went wrong when the first time Chery entered Malaysia?
There were two layers of issues. One is external and the second is internal. Externally, Malaysia had a protectionist automotive policy. Importing cars was expensive due to high tariffs, and the market was dominated by local players like Proton and Produa. Not to mention the trusted Japanese brands Toyota and Honda. So Chery's affordable cars actually weren't that affordable once taxes were added.
Ouch. So what about internally? Can you elaborate on that?
I think Chery made a few strategic missteps. They did not adapt their products enough. What worked in China didn't always fit Malaysian preferences. Their branding also struggled. People saw Chery cars as cheap, not in a good way. There were quality issues, poor after-sales support, and limited trust in Chinese-made vehicles back then. So despite some temporary success with the E-Star MPV, sales dropped sharply. By 2017, they were selling fewer than 150 cars a year, and they finally pulled out.
And yet they still came back. So what changed?
A lot has changed actually. Their 2023 re-entry is a complete transformation. First off, they ditched the distributor model and set up Chery Malaysia, which is their own subsidiary. This gave them full control over marketing, quality and branding. They also committed real resources, over 1 billion ringgit in investments, including local assembly and production, which helped bring costs down.
Oh, I see. So now they decided to went local?
Yes, exactly. And more importantly, they brought globally competitive SUVs like the Omoda 5, Tiggo 8 Pro and recently the Omoda E5 EV. These SUVs are high-tech, well-designed vehicles with strong safety ratings. They also offer things like 10-year engine warranties and 5 years of free service, a major trust-building move. And then there's branding. They introduced Omoda and JQ as distinct sub-brands with targeted appeal. Omoda for the tech-savvy youth and JQ for rugged adventures.
Actually a really big pivot. So is it actually working right now?
I think so, absolutely. In just a few months after launching, Chery sold over 4,500 cars in Malaysia by the end of 2023. By mid-2024, they crossed 9,000 units. That's a huge leap compared to what they were 7 years ago. They've also gotten good reviews from the media and buyers alike, especially on design, tech features and value for money.
Okay, so let's nerd out a little, okay? What is the marketing theories that help to explain this turnaround?
So first, there is the Dunning's OLI framework. Basically, Chery maximized its ownership and location (ONL) advantages through direct investment and localization. Then we have the normal adaptation versus standardization theory. Chery actually brought in global models but tailored them for Malaysian needs, like having tropical performance and also right-hand drive capabilities. And if we apply Hofstede's cultural dimensions, Malaysia scores high on collectivism and uncertainty avoidance. So Chery's focus on long warranties, family-friendly SUVs and accident after-sales service hit the right notes.
I see. That's a pretty solid move from them. But if you were Chery's international marketing director, what would you actually done differently?
Great question. I think there are still a few areas to refine. They've been great. But first, I would have considered a local partnership. For example, we are in a Geely made car. So Geely did this with Proton, and it helped them tap into existing trust and infrastructure. Chery, however, they chose to go solo, which is brave but risky. Second, I would be careful with brand architecture. Introducing multiple sub-brands like Omoda, J-Coup, and then soon they're going to introduce Exceed could confuse consumers. Might have been better to build one brand up first, maybe Chery Omoda, then gradually spin off the others. Third, I would deepen cultural localization. For example, I would run campaigns around Balik Kampung travel, partner with Malaysian influencers, and celebrate local festivals like Hari Raya and Deepavali with meaningful content.
So that's a very brilliant move from you. So what's the big takeaway from Chery's Malaysia story?
I think that failure can be a foundation for success if you learn and adapt. Chery failed in 2017 not because it didn't have the potential, but because it misunderstood the market. Now they localize deeply, embrace quality, and rebuild trust. They're showing that international marketing isn't just about exporting a product, it's also about embedding into a culture.
Couldn't agree more. So Arash, thank you again for sharing your insights. It's a very valuable insights, and this was one of the most compelling case studies we've heard this session.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Okay. To all our listeners, if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Carpooling Marketing.
And thank you for sponsoring us, Mishwe.
And we'll see you
In the next
in
one.
the next one.
Yay!